Okay, let's start with this one. Okay, so find the one that has a slope of 3/4 and the point is -2, 3. So I'm going to do a couple of these with you. They go really fast. You'll see. Okay, did everybody find this paper? Because you have 3 papers and they look all very similar, but they have different data given to you. Everybody find this one? Okay, so what this is reviewing is writing equations of lines. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to title this Writing Equations Extra of Lines. Writing equations of lines. So that's what this lesson is today, is just kind of reviewing that.
Can you use a pencil?
Yeah, you can use a pencil. You don't have to use a marker now. The marker was for writing all that stuff on your folder. And so I'm really only going to show you one thing new today that we really haven't seen before, but I wanted to show it to you just in case you like it. Okay, you ready? Can the phones go away? Thank you. Okay, this one wants to know the equation of the line if the slope is 3/4 and it goes through the point -2, 3, and it wants me to use the point slope formula. Can anybody tell me what that says? Beautiful. That's our point slope formula, and we're ready to use it anytime we know the slope and anytime we know the slope and a point. And we do. We know both. We have the slope and we have a point. So I'm ready to go. So I'm going to start off y minus, which one's the y coordinate? 3. And then equals the slope, which is 3/4. And then in parentheses, it's going to go x minus a -2, which will turn into a +2. Okay, I want to keep going. I want to go ahead and convert this to slope-intercept form. So the next thing I would do is distribute that 3/4. So what is 3/4 times x? 3/4 x. Now I need to take 3/4 times 2. So do you want me to show you by hand, or do you want to use the calculator? What is it?
1.5.
1.5? Is that what you guys got in your calculator? Okay. Does anybody need me to show you how to do it by hand? Okay. If I were to multiply it by hand, I'm taking 3/4 times 2. 2 is understood to be over a 1. If I multiply straight across, 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 1 is 4. And then I can reduce that because I can divide both of those by 2. If I divide both of those by 2, I get 3/2, which is the same thing as 1.5. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to recopy my y minus 3 that's on the left-hand side. And then how can I get rid of the minus 3? Okay, so I'm going to add 3 to both sides. And then the y would drop down, the equals would drop down, the 3/4 x would drop down. And then how much is 1.5 plus 3? 4.5, or 4.5. And typically I don't like decimals, but for the y-intercept, I'm okay for the y-intercept if the y-intercept's a decimal. Don't make your slope a decimal, though. So always keep your slope a fraction, but the y-intercept, that's okay if you make that a decimal. Okay, so we're going to just come up with this equation in a couple other ways, but different methods. So anytime you have a point and a slope, you can write the equation using point-slope form. Now it wants us to write the equation by graphing it. So what do you think I would do first? Plot the point or do the slope? Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to plot the point. So I'm going to go to -2, 3. Can you tell me how I would get there? So yes, left 2 and up 3. And then if the slope is 3/4, what does that tell me to do? Good, so up 3 and right 4. And I'm going to go reverse. What's reverse? Down 3 and left 4. Okay, and then I'm going to try to draw the line the best I can. Of course, if I had a straight edge, that would be the best. I think I'll actually try to use one today. Okay, This time, I'm going to try to write the equation based off of my graph. So whenever you have the graph of a diagonal line, I know there's going to be an x and a y in the equation. So anytime your graph is a diagonal line, there's going to be an x and a y in the equation. All we have to do is fill in the slope and fill in the y-intercept. So the problem already told us the slope. What's the slope?
3/4.
The slope is 3/4. So it's going to go y equals 3/4 x. And then b is the y-intercept. Look at where the line crosses the y-axis. Where does it look like the line crosses the y-axis? About 4.5, about 4.5. Is this the same equation that we got when we did it in the first block?
Yes.
Okay, so we should be getting the same equations. It's just a different way of looking at it. So anytime you have a diagonal line and you're looking for the equation, you know there's going to be a y and an x in your equation. All you have to know is your slope, your rise and run, and your b, your y-intercept. Okay, and then I just want to show you this because we haven't ever done one quite like this, and I don't call it an H table. What do you guys call these?
I call it a T chart.
Okay, well that's what I had always heard of it too. So when I saw this said H table, I don't know. I was like, I don't know what that is. Okay, so it says it goes through the point negative 2, 3. So I'm going to put negative 2, 3 in my table. And then it says it has a slope of 3/4. So let's talk about slope for a second. Is slope, gentlemen, in the back? Change in y over change in x, or change in x over change in y?
Change in x over change in y. No, change in y over change in x. Because the y is dependent.
The y is dependent. So change in y over change in x. So the way I want to do this is I want to come up with the next numbers in the table. So which one is the change in the y? Which of these numbers, the 3 or the 4?
4. No. 3.
Remember, the change in y is the top number. So it's saying the change in your y is a positive 3. So if the change in your y is a positive 3, what is 3 plus 3? 6. Okay, and then the change in the x is 4, and it's a positive 4. So what's negative 2 plus 4? 2. Okay, now I want to go to stat on the calculator and put these 2 points in and make the calculator tell me the equation. I'm just showing you this because I've never done one that looks like this before, and I just wanted to show you something different. Okay, so I'm going to go to my stat button. I'm going to edit. List 1 are going to be for my x's, so negative 2 and 2. List 2 are going to be for my y's, so 3 and 6. Now what?
Stat.
Stat again. Then what?
I don't have to count.
Go to calculate. It's linear. The reason it's linear is because this is the same problem as all these others, and see how they're all linear? So it's linear, so I want number 4. Hang on, Brooklyn, I know you were trying to say something there. And then I'm going to hit enter again. And does that look like the 2 equations that we came up with in the other 2?
It looks
little
exactly like them.
Yeah, except for instead of 3/4, they had a 0.75, but your b is still the 4.5. So with the calculator, I can still see that it's the same equation, 3/4 x plus 4.5, even though they used a 0.75 instead of the 3/4. So I just wanted to show you another way. This last way, I don't like it at all, so we're not even going to do it. Brooklyn, what were you going to say?
I don't even think I was going to say anything. I think I was just yelling at you or something.
Oh, okay. All right, I wanted to do one more with you, and then that would leave 2 for you to do. Are you okay with that? No. What do you mean, no?
We're not doing that one.
No, we're not going to do that last one.
We only have 3 pages, so.
We only have 3.
You only have 2 problems to do. If I do one more with you, you only have 2 left to do on your own.
We're only doing one page only.
One back. Whoa.
Okay, let's go to the one that says a slope of 5 and the point's negative 1, 6. So find that one. Slope of 5 and the point's negative 1, 6. Okay, so first it wants me to write the equation using the point slope formula. So once again, that's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And when you guys take your STAR test, your EOC, whatever you want to call it, you will have a formula chart, and this formula is on there. This is the one you always remember.
Is it y equals 5x minus 1?
Well, hang on. So it goes y minus what?
Plus 6.
It'd become a plus 6, beautiful, equals the slope, which is 5. And then in parentheses, it's going to go x minus a plus 1 because it's a minus a negative. Okay, let's clean that up. What do I do next? Okay, distribute the 5. If you distribute the 5, what do you get there?
5x plus 5.
5x plus 5. And then I'm going to bring down the y plus 6. And then what do you do?
Subtract 6.
Okay, so I subtract the 6 from both sides. The y drops, the equals drops, the 5x drops, and what is a positive 5 minus 6? Negative 1. Is that what you told me, Tyler?
Yes, ma'am. Couldn't you just look at it and do it?
I like to show work, Tyler.
I just...
I think we've had this conversation numerous times in here.
It bothers him when you work it out.
Like, it takes too long, like, when you can just look at it.
I know, but this is the thing. If I didn't work things out for people, then I'd have more people not know what was going on than I would the people who did know what was going on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the last paper. This time I'm going to write the equation from the graph. So first, let's plot the point. Tell me, how do I get there? Left, right, up, down. Tell me what to do.
Go to your
Left 1 and left down 6.
Left 1, down 6. Very good. Okay, Tyler, how do I plot a slope of 5?
Up 5 over 1. Up 5 over 1.
Okay, so up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and right 1. Again, up 5, right 1. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw my line. Peter.
Gotcha.
Sometimes I look at our picture on the computer, Peter, and I think about those days when you weren't quite as noisy in class.
What picture?
I miss them. You took a picture with me earlier on in the year. You said, Miss Wood, let's take a picture on your camera.
Cool.
And we posed and we took a picture, and it's
Why don't we have
on my
a picture, Miss
screensaver.
Wood?
Well, because Peter's the one that said, let's take a picture.
Are you playing favorites?
No, Peter is the one that said, let's take a picture. And so he took a picture. All right, what is the slope? What's the slope? 5, so y equals 5x. And then b is the y-intercept. Where does this graph touch the y-axis? At negative 1. And is that what we got when we did it the other way? Okay, so this is just kind of trying to remind you how to write an equation if you're given a graph. Okay, and then I want to try this t-chart again, just because we've never seen that before. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the point negative 1, negative 6 in the table, or negative 1, negative 6. And then when it says the slope is 5, remember that's the change in the y over the change in the x. So I'm going to do this little guy. What's the change in my y? The change in my y is 5, and it's a positive 5, so I'm going to put a plus 5. So what's negative 6 plus 5?
1.
Negative 1. And then what's the change in the x?
1.
The change in the x is a 1. You just don't see it there. And it's a positive 1, so I'm going to put plus 1. And what's negative 1 plus 1? 0. Okay, so now I just want to practice the stat button. So I know you guys already know the answer, but I don't care. I just want to go to the stat button, and I want to put these numbers in and see if we get what we're supposed to. So negative 1, 0, negative 6, negative 1. And then where do I go again? Stat, and then calculate, and then number 4. Good. Enter, enter. And is that what we got for all those others?
Yep.
Okay, so y equals 5x minus 1.
We omit the last one.
Yeah, we'll omit the last one. So y equals 5x minus 1. So I believe that in this 8 minutes that you have left that you can do the next 2 problems. Because there's a back side to this, and then there's one more paper. So you can eliminate that last square in both of those pages, but you should be able to get that done before you leave, if you work on it.
Get some music playing.
Oh,
I can't work.
I think it's already... is it not down there?
Nope, I can get it up there.
That wasn't so bad, was it?
Sydney, should I sing my song?
Horrific.
What?
Should I sing my song?
I don't believe it.
I'm gonna sing it for the class. I gotta have the girls sing with me too, though.
Hey, you still got that bat over there?
Huh?
You still got that bat?
No, dude, I put the bat down. I can't take a bat over here by Miss Wood.
Seriously, I'd run away.
No.
Is that an extra paper on the ground?
It's better.
Extra paper?
Look at this bat, Miss Wood. It's called a wiffle bat.
Oh, yeah.
It's plastic.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Hmm?
Don't let her have it. Don't let her have it.
I don't think so.
You don't want my page.
I have a wiffle bat.
Groove heart.
Groove shark.
Yeah, I have a plastic one at home, but it seems a little heavy.
Yeah, mine's like yellow.
It's a nice bat. It's like $2, I think. What's your song?
1,000 miles.
1,000 miles? What? What is that? Christina parody song? Or the... What is this? This is so gay.
It's not working.
Shoot. You just now heard this song?
Make them away downtown.
Walking fast, just passing, I'm homebound.
I forgot this part. Who is my next song request?
Tyler, why aren't you taking time to get your assignment done? So, like, you actually get an assignment done.
You have like a list.
Huh? So, no, it's just.
Oh, we're still recording.
I love this song.